Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Stronghold Podcast. We are back for the end of the year Christmas special. As you can tell, I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore last year because Jake gave it to me for free, and I'm a cheap asshole, and I don't have any common sense when it comes to fashion. So here I am wearing a Stormtrooper Christmas shirt. Jake, producer's in the house. What's up, dude?
How you doing? Everything's good. I'm on holiday, so everything is fantastic as far as I'm concerned.
And the wife. The wife is also here.
Hello.
The most popular guest. You can suck it, Ron. The most popular guest is Charmaine, and she's back on the podcast for the first time in quite a little bit of time. Welcome.
Hello.
How you feeling? So Charmaine, I thought it would be a good time to bring her in because she's got a competition coming up in just about a week's time. Almost a week. Like 5 days.
Yes.
How you feeling?
Drinking, so I guess not that nervous yet.
You're gonna feel better, even better, once you get a couple more of those beers down.
Yes.
Well, it's a jiu-jitsu competition, you know what I mean? A few beers here and there. We drank a few last night. We'll drink a few tonight. We'll take the week off.
As I made the point, John Jones did like a load of coke before he fought Gustafsson, and he was fine. So
these are the morals that you get on the Stronghold Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. If John Jones can do coke and fight, then we can drink beer and do jiu-jitsu competitions. And to be fair to Charmaine, too, we had a in-house jiu-jitsu competition last week at Stronghold. Pretty much everybody was drinking going up into that competition. So we try to keep it chill. Listen, if it's an MMA fight, it's different. I don't care about like that. You got to be really controlled with, right? Because you can get knocked unconscious. But jiu-jitsu competition, end of the year, Christmas time. We leave 3 days later to go on holiday to the Netherlands, so it's fine. We have a few beers. Jake's on holiday. How does it feel, dude? Tell me about it. I'm angry because I'm not.
I'm not going to lie, it is amazing. I woke up this morning and thought, I don't have, apart from this, which you'd already advertised as a drinking session, thought, I don't have to do anything. So this is great. We
don't advertise this as a drinking session, but that's often what happens here. And we're coming off of some big fights. Just to cut right into it, we had maybe the biggest fight card of the year, biggest upset.
Best fight card of the year?
Potentially, you can make that argument. And definitely the biggest upset in MMA history. Dare we go that far? It's up there. Of course, if you haven't seen it yet, then I'm not spoiling this shit for you. Amanda Nunes, the GOAT. All right, can you still call her the GOAT? Can you still call her the GOAT?
Yes, you can still call her the GOAT.
But of all the people to get, choked out by Juliana Pena, of all the people, it's up there with George St. Pierre and Matt Serra.
Yeah,
it's up there as one of the biggest upsets of all time. And it looked sloppy. It looked pretty
I was watching it, and Nunes just, what was she doing? She was just got into a firefight that she couldn't. Normally she's got knockout power, so she clearly thought, I'll get into a firefight and I'll just knock her out. That'll be the end of it. And then it wasn't happening, and she just didn't re-strategize. She didn't take a step back and think, I need to do something different. No, I'll just stick with this plan that's not working. Yeah, which is bizarre.
She just kept brawling. It was really weird, and it wasn't like... Normally, Amanda is like a technical brawler, right? Like, she brawls sometimes, but it's very technical.
She brawled with Cyborg, but she did it, as you say, technically. Like, she picked her punches. She was, very controlled in what she was doing. Not yesterday, just winging punches wildly. And
listen... I'm just going to be straight up with you. That to me looked like a I quit tap more than anything.
We've all done those in training where we're so gassed. We're like, no.
I've probably done it this week. Like I'm tired. You know what I mean? Like yeah, we've all done that, right? But it wasn't a good look, man. She looked off her game. Charmaine, it was funny because we were teaching the kids classes, and then we went to go and have our lunch, and then we came back and it was the main event. And I'm like walking down the street watching it on my phone, right? And then we came back and it was the co-main event. It was Amanda Nunes, and then it was Poirier and Oliveira. And I'm talking mad shit. I'm like, Juliana Pena is just the sacrificial lamb. And we watched the promo video, and she was like, I think I can offer something to no other girl. And I was like, I was just literally talking so much shit about it, right? And then we got to the gym, started watching the fight, and then I think Nunes dropped her like 2 times in the first round. She low kicked her once and swept her out. Swept her off her feet.
The first thing that happened.
And then she caught her with a punch again. I think buckled her. Like in the first 2 or 3 minutes, it looked like a typical Amanda Nunes beatdown, right? But then the fight started to progress, and like Charmaine was working on like a shirt or a patch or something for the gym at the same time. I'm like, Charmaine, will you watch this fight? And she's like, what's the point? What's the point? Why am I even going to watch this fight? And I'm like, because you never know what will happen. And she's like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen. And I'm like, yeah, but you still watch it because you never know what will happen. And then all of a sudden, she like is kind of watching out of the corner of her eye and everything. And I'm just like, oh shit. People start like running over, and I'm like, oh, she's going to... It didn't look like Pena had the power to really like knock her out. So I wasn't concerned, which is why I think it was more of like a quit thing, right? Because she wasn't like out. She wasn't hurt that bad. Like people have recovered from worse. It was only the second round. Her cardio had to still be there.
But if you listen to what Pena said, I'm going to put a pace on her that she won't be able to keep up with, and she's got terrible cardio. People have forgot she's got terrible cardio.
But I mean, she fought 5 rounds when she fought against. She's fought a few 5-round fights when she's
always been dominant in those 5-round fights. She's not been backpedaling, and she's not been on the defense, and it takes.
But that wasn't even that.
And also, maybe she didn't prepare properly because she's fighting Pena.
That is what I said. You can ask Charmaine, because the only thing I said, like the only way that I feel like she would lose, is if she got to the point where she's been dominant for so long. Right? If she maybe didn't take the training seriously because she thought she would be a pushover or something like that. That was the only scenario I imagined that she could possibly lose, was if she just got too comfortable being so dominant, thought, oh, this is going to be an easy little walk in the park, and then all of a sudden, you know, she's challenged and then pushed, and then that's what happened. I mean, Pena just broke her, but it wasn't even... Pena was only competitive for about 2 to 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, the first round, Amanda Nunes was totally dominant. In the first part of the second round, Amanda Nunes was dominant. They got into a little bit of a firefight there in the second round, and then Pena got her back, and then she tapped immediately.
Yeah.
She didn't look like she was going out. Like,
what about that guy that bet $370,000?
Oh, yeah.
My condolences.
Oh, shit.
You lost all your money.
How much was it?
$370,000.
So a guy bet $370,000 that Nunes would win. Because he thought it was just easy money, right?
He stood to make next to nothing on that bet as well.
What was it like?
Can you find it? Yeah.
I'm sure you can Google it and find exactly. I'm curious how much his exact bet was and how much he ended up making. Because, I think he was like $300,000 to gain like $20K maybe. Was it even that much?
Yeah, not worth it, that's for sure.
And then, dude, it's so funny.
Oh, here we go.
What's
my God.
What was the bet?
$18,000 to win.
Gambler loses $318,000 betting on a man.
I thought it was 370.
Can you just read the article there, Jake?
So DraftKings posted a tweet disclosing that one gambler risked $3,018 on Amanda Nunes to beat Julia Pena at UFC 269, but so he would have won for that.
How much?
There you go, 349,800. Sorry, I've got dyscalculia. I shouldn't be reading numbers out loud.
So what is it? Do we know?
He stood to win how much?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How much did he stand to win? Because then we can really see what the profit loss is here.
So he would have basically made 20,000 on it.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. So 300,000 to make 20,000. Man, you just gotta hope this is a really, really rich guy. Otherwise, this guy needs to be on suicide watch. That's $250,000. He bet $250,000.
Maybe he was rich. Maybe he was. Because he's not anymore.
Was being the ultimate word.
I mean, maybe he was rich, or maybe he was like upper middle class, and now he's fucking living in his car or something. No. I feel like, dude, unless you're like a buku, like fuck you, billionaire rich, like you're gonna feel that. Like everybody's gonna feel $250,000. Like, poof. Unless you're like, Dana White type character or something like that, like you're gonna feel that.
But then you won't be betting on fights like that, right?
Can you pull up I guess. Can you pull up Juliana Pena's record? Because I just don't think she had the skills. I mean, even with the win, that's why it was like it was a quick tap, right? I know what a quick tap looks like. And
she tapped the floor, like she was like...
And the choke was only in for like a second or two, right? Like she didn't... You know what it's like to see people just like viciously fight a choke till like their life depends on it.
Oh, she didn't...
This was not that.
No.
This was not that. Maybe you can even find okay, throw that up there, Jake. Let's take a look at Juliana Pena's record. I mean, it's not. She hasn't fought. Okay, so Jermaine Durandamy beat her. Can you zoom in there?
Maybe.
If control or the control key is the command key, that's what you're looking for. And then who's that? Oh, so Shevchenko. Okay, so are those her only 2 losses?
Yeah,
Durandamy
like
and Shevchenko.
She must be quite good.
Don't worry about it, dude. Okay, cool. There we go. Is that it? Are there any losses below? There's one more below.
Sorry. There we go.
We found
I've
it.
worked it out where it is. So Nunes, Sarah McCann lost to Jamandame, lost to Shevchenkov.
There's one more below, is there? Or is that it? Okay,
There's
we
one
got
more.
some old one
No,
down
but
there.
showdown fight, so it doesn't count.
I mean, okay, so her losses are against very good opponents, both champions. But
that's not a champion. That's not an Amanda Nunes beating record.
yeah, it's not. And even if she wins the rematch, which I'm certain she'll take it more seriously now, even if she wins the rematch, it's tough, it's tough to lose like that because it looked like a quit to me. I mean, if you can, Jake, while you have a second there, see if you can pull up the finishing sequence maybe on Instagram. I'm sure the UFC put it up there or something like that. You can go to my Instagram and see because we can get a good vibe on this about. And listen, I'm not coming at this from a superior place, like quitting in a fight she got hit a lot, right?
Yeah.
She got hit a lot in that finishing sequence, but she was also hitting Juliana Pena, right? And it just looked to me like she was just done. She was just like
gassed out.
gassed out. But what was it?
She wasn't even defending the
Was
choke.
it 7 minutes into a 25-minute fight? I mean, she can't have been that gassed. By all accounts, her training camp was normal, was typical.
It was the first round, was like 3 minutes in or something.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. And yeah, I mean, Charmaine literally didn't even. She was like, "Why the fuck am I even watching this? This is stupid." And yeah, it's just a wild event. It's definitely the biggest. Actually, they said that the Holly Holm Ronda Rousey fight was a bigger upset if you look at the numbers. But to me, it wasn't a bigger upset because Ronda wasn't the GOAT yet. Like, she defended her title a bunch of times, and she'd been super dominant. But to me, this is a bigger upset. Because Holly Holm is a fucking animal, right? She's a beast.
Yeah, like Holly Holm had an amazing kickboxing and boxing record.
Yeah,
as well.
multiple-time world champion. Like, I knew, even though it was Ronda Mania, right? I think that led more to the betting line than anything. But, I mean, Amanda Nunes is so dominant. We managed to...
I can't find...
Okay, so...
Got winging punches at each other if you want that.
Just make sure the volume is off of the Instagram feed or we might get pulled for that. So here's a little bit of the finishing sequence. I mean, she's getting hit, but she's also hitting her. It's not like she's eating so many punches or she got dropped and wobbled. Like that, okay, that was a little bit of a hard punch.
But mouth open, breathing heavily, clearly by that point.
But she cracked her there too. She cracked her again. This is not like a one-sided exchange, and none of them were. Like, Amanda was still landing.
Dude, her boxing is like just winging.
They're both just fucking winging stuff.
What is...
This is real slop-tastic.
This is your drunk uncles at Christmas.
Which is, I mean, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
It's fun because they're both just like, fuck it, let's go.
He's on to the next bit. I don't know if he's got the finishing sequence.
Maybe if you search a little bit more there, we can see if we can find. If we can, it's not the end of the world.
But
But
it's because her arms are so huge. It's
she's
like,
a big girl, man. She's jacked. Look at the shoulder. See, I mean, she cracked her right there. I mean, Amanda's landing in these exchanges, backing her up. That was like a jab. It's like, okay, nothing that like blows your hair back, right? There's nothing there that. I mean, maybe see if you can find that just a choke. You can maybe even just type it into the Instagram search feed, Amanda Nunes choke loss or something like that. I mean, I just want to count the seconds and see how long it's going to be. I don't know, Charmaine. What were your thoughts? Do you think it was a quit tap or like I'm fucked tap?
I think she didn't train hard enough or respected her opponent enough. Then she just fucking gassed out and got tired and tapped out. But it's good. It's good for her because now she has an opponent to work towards. And people will be more interested to watch her fight.
It's not good for her, I would say. It's good for women's MMA, though.
Yeah.
Because, the rematch going to be way bigger. It's going to be way more interesting in the division in general now. But...
Not good for Amanda, for sure.
No, not good for her. Unless, it turns into like a rivalry. Maybe... Okay, here's another question then. Do you think Juliana Pena is for real, or do you think this is a fluke?
She's certainly got heart. You can never. So I would never say she's not for real, but you would say she got lucky. And you'd say, same as Matt Serra, like, you've done it, you've got this now, you've got this career highlight, like, you've beat someone who everyone thought was unbeatable, probably going to lose the rematch.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to think anything else, right? Like, how could you possibly think anything else would happen? I mean, we'll see. Either way, it was fucking crazy. It's definitely the biggest upset of the year. I mean, we could all agree with that, right? It's the biggest upset in many years.
Yeah.
I mean, right along there with the main event, I would say, was a pretty big upset.
Good for her.
I mean, Charlie motherfucking Olives. Chuck Olives in the main event.
Luke was devastated, by the way.
I was.
He almost cried.
Oh, I was so into... I mean, I love Dustin Poirier, and I just wanted to... Even if he won the title and then lost it later, I want him to be the undisputed champion. Like, Dustin Poirier is the most blood and guts fighter of all time. Because people think Justin Gaethje, but look at who beat him. And look at in the way that he beat him. And then people thought Eddie Alvarez. Look at how he beat Eddie Alvarez. Like, when it comes to wars, Dustin Poirier is Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez. Like, the wars that dude has been through. Conor twice. Like, just absolute. But the rear naked choke, man.
What annoyed you more, the fact that he lost, or the fact that all the BJJ people like, look, see BJJ?
Yeah, but his striking was good, though, man. His striking is so good. Like, Oliveira is probably the slickest. He's probably the slickest champion since Conor, right?
Yeah.
He's just slick. He's so technically... That move he did to take his back, Poirier just loaded up on the cross. He just slipped, ducked right around the back, immediately jumped on his back. And I saw it too, dude. I saw it the second the forearm went under the chin. Because originally, he was face cranking him, right? And Poirier's not going to tap to a face crank. He'll let his jaw break.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to tap to that. So I was like, he's good. And then I saw the microsecond it went under, and I was like, fuck! I turned away. I was like, fuck. Because I knew once it gets under the chin, you're done, right? You're not. No one's tougher than a choke.
But it didn't just go under the chin a little bit. Like, again, we all train sort of thing. You know when it's that deep that you're like, oh, it's done.
Yeah.
So, being the father of the year, I was watching it with my kids as always. And the second it went under the chin, I was like, it's finished.
Yeah, dude, it was so disappointing to me. And I like Oliveira too. It's one of those ones where no one really lost. Like, they're both, I feel, fan favorites. Both super deserving of it. I just don't know if Poirier can get back there again. I don't know if he's got the juice, the motivation. 2 title losses in a row.
And as I was saying to you before this starts, like, if I'm Poirier, well, I'll just fight McGregor again for an awful lot of money for a fight I'm probably going to win. And
then I'm just thinking, okay, so I guess they're going to slide Gaethje in there next. I still think Charles Oliveira is slicker. Charlie Olives. He's a slicker of the two, but Gaethje's just maybe the tougher. So if it comes to being like that, maybe you favor Gaethje. But after watching that, I got to favor Oliveira now. If you'd asked me a week ago, I probably would have picked Gaethje in that fight. But now I think I'd pick Oliveira. I don't know, man. And then you still got Makhachev waiting in the wings for probably whoever wins that fight. They could do Poirier and Makhachev again. You know what? The thing with Poirier is the only way I think he'll get a title shot again is if he managed to get a huge rub from McGregor. Right? Because let's say this is a pay-per-view. If they get the pay-per-view numbers and it's massive, it's because of Poirier.
Yeah.
Because there's no other massive pay-per-view star on there. So if this does 1 million buys or something like that, some crazy numbers, it's because Poirier got the rub from Conor.
Yeah.
And if he's super popular, maybe one more fight. If Gaethje wins, he could slide in there. Or if they put him against Makhachev for a number 1 contender fight, since Gaethje's seemingly next for Oliveira, he could maybe get back in there. But I just want him to get that undisputed title, and it's going to be tough now. 2 times in a row you lost, even though he doesn't lose non-title fights. As a lightweight, he hasn't lost any non-title fights, right?
No, I don't think so.
Only Khabib and...
Yeah, because he lost to Conor at 45, didn't he?
That was 45, yeah. So lightweight, I don't think he's ever lost a non-title fight, and he's fought murderers row. But he just seems to... He hasn't got it in the big show, and I don't know if he's capable of doing like the Michael Bisping thing, where he's willing to just keep fighting and losing and fighting and losing and fighting and losing and fighting, and then until he gets the momentum again and then gets in there again for a 3rd championship fight. 4th, actually, because the Holloway one was interim. I don't know. How did you feel about it, Jake?
I thought it was a brilliant fight for one. Like, it was what you wanted. The first, like, Poirier won the first round.
Easily dropped him three times,
like,
I think.
Maybe a 10-8.
Yeah, I mean, he was destroying him.
Yep. And then, so you got that. But then and again, we were talking about this earlier, his decision making in the second round to just close that triangle and just keep guard. I get it in the sense of like, I don't want to give my back up. But then he was having like bombs of elbows rain down on him. Like, not even the nice slicey ones that might cut him. Like, Oliveira was dropping elbows from up on him. And that must have taken a toll.
I don't think it hurt him though. Like I don't think it was like fight ending type scenario. I think it was just he was willing to throw, and he said that, right? He said that leading up to it. He was willing to give away a round to win the fight.
Yeah.
Which is the mistake he made against Khabib. That's what he said, right? So I think that was his plan, and it worked in that sense because you see what happens when Oliveira got behind him. Got behind him, got his back. 20 seconds later, the fight was over.
Yeah.
That's how good he's got the most submission wins in UFC history. That dude gets behind you, you're fucked. Like, if he takes your back, you're fucked, and he knew it. And that's why he was like, I'll give this round away, rather than turn, because they got taken down in the middle of the octagon.
Yeah, that's what
he couldn't wall walk. He couldn't get his back up against the cage. So the only way to stand up is to turn your back. It's the only way. If you're in the closed guard like that, the only other way is like if you can get feet on the hips, push away, maybe work your way up. But good luck with someone like Charles Oliveira, who's got the best jiu-jitsu and arguably in the UFC, the most submission wins. How did you feel, Charmaine? Who did you want to win? Were you rooting for Oliveira or were you rooting for Poirier?
I was rooting for Oliveira.
You haters. How can you possibly root against...
Oliveira's awesome. What are you talking about?
He's just...
I mean, only Dustin's pretty hard, but...
This is why we need the female perspective on this podcast every now. I was not thinking, you know why I wanted Poirier to win? Because he's fucking sexier of the two. That's why we need a little feminine energy on this podcast sometimes.
It was one of those though where like they're both, you know, neither of them are disagreeable. Both of them are like loved by the fans sort of thing. So it doesn't really, you know, you're happy that either of them won. It's not like they're terrible people.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what the win does do. First of all, it solidifies Oliveira as that's his biggest win for sure.
Oh, he's
because beating Chandler for the title, it's like, okay, he had one fight in the UFC, but beating Dustin Poirier, that is his most significant win. And the other thing that does is show all of you haters how much of a badass Paul Felder is, who fucking knocked him out inside the guard with an elbow from hell, which a lot of people don't even remember because people shit on Paul Felder all the time for reasons I cannot understand. Because he's also because he's a ginger, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that's the only person to beat Oliveira as a lightweight. He's 10-1, I believe, as a lightweight, and he's on a fucking crazy run. I mean, now, how interested would you be in, like, obviously hindsight being what it is, in because we never saw Oliveira versus Khabib.
Oh, but I'd love to see it, but it's not happening. Have you not seen pictures of Khabib lately? He's
no, I'm not saying it would happen, but now that we know that this might have been the guy in the division other than Khabib, which clearly he is, because Poirier, if 2 years ago everybody had said, okay, take Khabib out of the division, who's the best in the world, people would have said Poirier.
Yeah.
And now that Oliveira beat him, you might say, well, it was Poirier. Or, sorry, it was Oliveira. So that would be the matchup, right? Because we saw what happened with Conor. We saw what happened with Gaethje. We saw what happened with Poirier, with Khabib. What we didn't see was what happened with, Tony Ferguson.
But that,
sad tears.
That
sad
train's
tears.
well and truly gone.
Cheers to pouring out a drink for my dude for the lost fight that we never saw. But then you also saw what happened when Oliveira fought Tony Ferguson.
Yep.
That was sad too. But
Khabib's been in a lot of videos lately, and he's clearly enjoying his retirement.
Yeah, but that would have been interesting though, especially with his jiu-jitsu and Khabib's wrestling. I was surprised that he was able to take Poirier down in that second round.
Yeah,
I mean, because his jiu-jitsu we all know is great, but his wrestling, that's what he's never really had that option. Against the lower level guys, he was able to, but against the best, the takedown wasn't always there. His back takes are really good.
Yeah.
But like double leg, single leg, stuff like that. But either way, it's crazy. It's going to be Gaethje next. What do you think there?
I think you got to pick Oliveira at this moment in time. He's just on such a roll, and he's beaten everyone in the division with the exception of Felder that they've put in front of him. So you got to fancy him, whereas Gaethje's got the power and allegedly he's got the wrestling, though he never tends to use it. But Oliveira,
But also susceptible to getting his back taken,
yes,
just like Poirier.
yeah.
What do you think, Charmaine? Gaethje or Chuck Olives?
It's Chuck Olives.
Chuck motherfucking Olives.
Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu, fuck the world. Well, I'll tell you what, if he gets Gaethje's back,
Oh, it's game over.
yeah.
I'd say.
And even his striking, man, Oliveira's got some real technical striking. Really technical striking. Because even in the first round, he had his moments, right? Poirier dropped him a bunch, but he's got a more diverse attack. Like Poirier's almost all boxing, and like he'll throw a low kick every now and again. Poirier throws like front kicks and round kicks and low kicks and punches and uppercuts and elbows and really, really diverse skill set. Everything's tight. Everything's technical. He slips under, he takes the back, he shoots, his jiu-jitsu's there. He's probably got one of the most well-rounded skill sets of like any champion in that division. Like everything. He can kick, he can punch, he can jiu-jitsu, he can wrestle, he can back take, he can elbow.
His skill set's very well rounded, but he's also got then the like killer submission power. So not only has he got a well rounded skill set, he's also got a superpower.
And actually pull up his record because I'm pretty sure he's finished. His finish percentage is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure like
He's got the most now.
yeah, it's not just his jiu-jitsu. He knocks people out, he submits them. He submits them a lot of times after he drops them on the feet as well. But let's see his record because he finishes so many people. Charmaine, why don't you pop another one out of there? Jake, you need another refreshment?
Yes.
Oh,
I will not say no. Okay. Here we go.
Maybe pass Charmaine the opener there. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm drinking pure scotch. Pure scotch. And the reason is so that I don't have to pee 5 times on this podcast, which I'm about to ruin anyway.
Wait, I'm just bringing it up. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. I mean, this is going to be ridiculous. Okay, so go to the top. Okay, so first of all, submitted Poirier. Knocked out Chandler. Beat the shit out of Tony Ferguson. He didn't finish him, but that armbar that he had on him was just ridiculous. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Kevin Lee, guillotine. Lucas Barros, decision. Okay, Jared Gooden, finish. Nick Lentz, finish. David Timur, finish. Jim Miller, finish. Giagos, finish. Clay Guida, finish. Paul Felder, you're a fucking legend.
Oh, he lost?
Will Brooks, finish. So what was that? 2 fights since he moved to lightweight? Was it 2 fights?
Yeah.
That he didn't finish? So what is he?
And one of those is against Tony Ferguson, so
who
that doesn't
would
count.
rather die than
Yeah.
be finished. I mean, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's one of the best runs of all time.
He lost to Anthony Pettis, though.
By submission,
Yeah.
too. By submission. Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis does not get enough respect. Anthony Pettis submitted. Anthony Pettis submitted the olive one. He knocked out Wonder Boy at welterweight. He fought for a title at featherweight. Was the champion at lightweight. Fucking people disrespect Anthony Pettis. That dude is a killer. Top 10 in 3 different divisions. Submitted fucking Oliveira. Knocked out Wonder
Highlight
Boy.
reel knockouts.
Knocked out Wonder Boy.
Yep.
And then, of course, WEC champion, lightweight champion. This is a bit of a tangent, but all these nerds don't give enough respect to Paul Felder and Anthony Pettis. All right, dude. So, I mean, we covered the main events here.
No, but it was an amazing card. If we ignore the Jeff Neal Ponzinibbio fight, that was...
It was a good fight, though.
It was a good fight.
It was competitive.
It wasn't as exciting as the other fights on the card.
Yeah, it wasn't. But they're both good dudes. It was a good fight, too. Just, yeah, you know, the card has so much star power and stuff. Let's take a look at it here. Why don't you throw up the rest of the card and we can look at it. Because that Ponzinibbio Neal fight was good. It was a split decision. Oh, boy. Let's get to the next one. Yeah, Kai Kara France and Cody Garbrandt. You know...
Cody Garbrandt has lost 5 of his last 6.
Yeah. And going from undefeated to the championship. And like, what was he, 10 or 11-0 when he won the title? Against the bantamweight GOAT, Dominick Cruz. What a fall from grace.
An amazing performance as well. Like, you
one of the best of all time.
How good he was in that Cruz fight.
That's one of the best title fights of all time. To shut down Dominick Cruz, who never gets shut down by anybody. I mean, Dominick Cruz, we'll get to him.
Earlier on in the card, yeah.
We'll get to him in a minute. I mean, Dominick Cruz looked fucking great. Against a guy who knocked out Cody Garbrandt. I mean, did you get a chance to watch the Cody Garbrandt finish?
No.
I mean, it was a crazy one because he got dropped, swarmed, finished. Kai Kara-France looked like he was about 10 pounds lighter than Garbrandt, too.
Yeah.
Garbrandt looked huge as a flyweight. So he went down a weight class, and I don't even know, man. I don't even know what to say about him. First of all, controversial opinion here. I think Cody Garbrandt's a little bit of a dick. I feel like he's a...
I don't think that's that controversial.
Did you watch the video I sent you of Jean-Claude Van Damme head kicking him?
Yes.
Can you find that?
Yes.
So if you haven't seen this, Charmaine, have you haven't seen this?
No.
Oh, let's pull this up.
I mean, he looks like a dick.
Yeah, he looks like a dick, and he is kind of a dick. And so there's this video. If you haven't seen this, I only saw it a few weeks ago. So it's Jean-Claude Van Damme and Cody Garbrandt sparring, right? Like light, they're just playing together, sparring, like touch sparring or whatever. I think it was when Cody was a champion too, or right abouts. And listen, Jean-Claude Van Damme is not an MMA fighter, but they were doing stand-up sparring. And his hips, you've seen the videos of what this guy can do. He can do full splits. He can do jumping, wheel kicks. He can do all kinds of crazy shit. Charmaine, you might be a little bit dated here because this is my generation. But you know Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? Oh, bitch.
I know.
Oh, bitch.
In all the movies and stuff.
You know Jean-Claude Van Damme. So anyway, he's... Oh, God, I can't even believe I have to describe who Jean-Claude Van Damme is. But he's an
I've
action...
seen his face before.
You've definitely seen him. But he's an action movie star from the 80s and the 90s.
But he's legit.
Was kicks, right? I mean, he can do full split.
Yeah.
And in all of his... He can do the jumping full split kicks and all this crazy shit. And they're sparring together, and he's got hip dexterity. Like, he can fake a low kick and throw that head kick all the way over. And he does this to Cody Garbrandt when they're play sparring, and Cody Garbrandt gets like pissed at him. But he's like going really, really light. Let's take a look at the video here. I think Jake's got it. So watch this.
I just want him to make him look like a fool.
But they're playing. He's still controlled. Like, look at his dexterity. Look at him. Bang. He's good, right? He knows what he's doing. Here it comes. Bang.
Ooh.
Hook kicked him. Look at him. Look at him. Go back and play that again. He hits him with a hook kick, like a heel kick.
Actually hit him, right?
Barely touched him. Barely touched him.
Pissed off.
And then he's getting all pissed off. Like play the whole thing through again. Look, he's touching him with the hands too. He could have hit him there too. Look. Watch it. Hold it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Close in.
Yeah. I mean, he barely touches him. And look at him walk away. And he's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Are you okay?" It's such a bitch move, dude. They're playing. He barely touched him. I just get the vibe that this guy's a little bit of an asshole. You know what I mean? It's fine. I don't know.
But he used to have an amazing chin. If you think back to his early fights, he was literally head down, walk forward, go to war, and then he just seemed. And it happens to people like it happens to Liddell. His chin's gone. So now he goes head down, forward. I'll go to war, and then gets hit. And what didn't used to stop him now drops him.
Well, there's something to be said for his chin being gone, and there's something to be saying for him being hit clean. I don't care how good your chin is. That shit was.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can find a Instagram picture of the finish, but I mean, Kai Kara-France hit him with an overhand, clean, right on the jaw, right at the end of the jaw. Even if you got a great chin, if you get hit clean like that, it's gonna buckle you. And actually, he stayed awake after the first hit. Yeah, I mean, throw that up. I mean, look at that. That's as clean as it gets in the perfect spot. His whole body is turned. Look how his right shoulder is all the way forward. His lead shoulder is all the way down, directly over his knee. Foot turned right at the end of the chin. That is as clean as an overhand right as it gets. Even if and that didn't like stiff him, right? It didn't knock him out like totally stiff. You get hit with that, you're done. You're done. There's no way you can recover from that. I mean, he did a little bit, but then he got followed up and finished. And
he was on very wobbly legs.
It's just his striking defense has been worse. This one wasn't one where he got caught in a firefight, like just broing down and then getting caught. But that's a clean punch. Anybody gets hit with that by him, by Kai Kara-France, you're done. But wasn't the thing he was hoping for his flyweight debut. That's for sure. He's going to have to go down. Can you pull up the flyweight rankings? It seems like a better weight class for him. I'm not saying he's done. I'm not going to discount Cody Garbrandt because of that. But Kai Kara-France is number 6 in that division, I think. I mean, do you think he should go up and fight O'Malley? Or do you think he should stay at flyweight? Because that was the word on the street. Or that's the drama, right? The drama is O'Malley talking shit. They face down, and then of course O'Malley won, but O'Malley didn't beat anybody that's top ranked or anything like that.
But what do you think of O'Malley? Like, do you reckon we've got one there, or is it he's just fighting people that he can beat?
I think he's to use a gaming term, he's a glass cannon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ever heard this term? A glass cannon. Have you ever heard this?
I mean, I guess it sounds like what the name is, right?
Yeah,
like just
I think that's
easily
what.
broken cannon.
Yeah. Firepower for days, right? Like he's got tons of knockout power, tons of weapons. Seems a little bit fragile in certain moments, and obviously all of his wrestling and jiu-jitsu is suspect.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying nobody knows.
Yeah.
He's trained by one of the best in the world. He's trained by Tenquinho Mendez, who's a ADCC world champion. He beat Rafa Mendez. Coincidentally, Cody Garbrandt knocked him out. But that's just MMA math is not my point. The point is he's a high-level jiu-jitsu guy. He's getting really good training. But we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen... Go to the bantamweight. We're going away from Cody Garbrandt here, excuse me, for a minute. But let's take a look.
I don't know.
Also, O'Malley wasn't ranked, which is weird.
No, he's still not ranked, according to this.
But he was ranked previously when he lost to Cheeto.
Is it because he smoked weed?
He smokes a lot of weed, apparently.
Sorry, give me a
So
second.
let's see if we can take a look at the rankings. All right, you guys chat about O'Malley. Did you watch the O'Malley fight?
I didn't.
Oh, you missed out. It was only like a couple minutes long. You should have watched it.
He get knocked out.
Sugar Sean. No, he knocked the guy out quickly.
The guy. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Because the thing with the bantamweight rankings is he was ranked, and then he lost to Cheeto, and then he won against oh God, what's his name? His last fight. It's slipping my mind here. But anyway, so he won that fight, and then he won this fight. I think he's like 6-1 in the UFC. It's really surprising to me he's not ranked, even after all of that.
So the only one I can find is the UFC rankings.
Okay,
and
that's,
I don't know if
that's
they've updated
fine.
them.
That's fine. We don't need like the global rankings. Okay, so Aljamain, little suspect there at number 1.
Not really.
Okay, so
But yeah, he's not.
going
He's
a little
not.
lower?
He's not in the top 15.
I mean, fuck that bantamweight division though. So Cody Garbrandt is still ranked at number 7, and then he just lost to number 6 at featherweight or at flyweight. So just to give you an idea there, I don't know who they could put Cody Garbrandt against in flyweight. I think he beats a lot of those flyweights, but that was just not good. Him getting clipped with that overhand. His striking defense leaves something to be desired for sure. You can keep that up there for a minute, dude. Let's go through that. So O'Malley, wow, fuck. Okay, so I mean, god damn, that is one of the
I'm
thickest
looking at him, I'm
divisions.
like, I can see why he's not top 15 because
Oh shit, that is one of the thickest, juiciest divisions in the UFC. I mean, Frankie Edgar is number 13. Marlon Vera, who knocked him out, is number 11.
Song Yadong
is 14. Pedro Munoz, who's just lost to Dominick Cruz, and Dominick Cruz, dude, I mean, Marab Dvalishvili, fucking Rob Font, Corey Sandhagen,
Jose
Aldo, Rafael Assunção. Oh, shit. That is a nasty, nasty division. Now I understand why O'Malley's...
yeah, now you can see why he's not actually in the top 15.
Let's take a look at this. So who's 15?
Corey Stammen.
Okay, so maybe I'd take O'Malley over him, but I think Song Yadong will fuck up O'Malley. I'm not gonna lie. Frankie would wrestle fuck him.
Yeah.
Rafael Assunção, maybe the same thing. Cheeto already beat him. Marlon Moraes, hard to get a vibe on him. Dominick Cruz, get the fuck out of here. Pedro Munoz, get the fuck out of here. Garbrandt, he's gone. Marab would wrestle fuck O'Malley to death. Okay, he would wrestle fuck him to death. Rob Font, maybe he could beat Rob Font. Sandhagen, stylistically, he stands a better shot in that. Aldo, get the fuck out of here.
No.
Get the fuck out of here. Dude, it's tough for O'Malley in that top 15. It's all about giving him the right matchups. There are people I think he could beat, but he's a glass cannon. He's got tons of firepower. He can knock out a lot of people. Merab Dvalishvili would wrestle fuck that dude to death. That Marlon Moraes fight where he just wrestled, like literally he's unconscious wrestling him down to the ground and then just beat him down. Like,
but he seems fairly aware of this himself because he's saying, I'm not taking any fights like in that top 15 until I'm on a better contract.
how old is he? How old is O'Malley? 28, 27, something like that? Because I don't know how long. I mean, he's already earning some of the most amount of money of all of people in the UFC, and he's not even in the top 15.
27.
And that's what he said to Dominick Cruz. He was talking shit to Dominick Cruz, and he was like, he's like, oh, you're on the undercard, dude. I'm in the main event, and I'm earning more money than you, and might be true.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. That top 15, I can see why he's not in it, and it's so stacked that if I were him, I'd just keep on, I'll fight people outside the top 15 and pick up wins, and maybe maybe then I can improve my skill set to a level where I can actually go on a run.
But I feel like he's getting pretty close there, right? I mean, he's probably going to be 15.
Yeah.
He was ranked before, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he had a rank before he lost to Cheeto, or like right after he lost to Cheeto. I don't know if we can check if he had a previous ranking, but he's got to be right there. What is he, 6-1 in the UFC? I mean, how do you get to 6-1, or roughly?
Yeah, I think he is.
How do you get to 6-1 and not be ranked? He's got to be right there. Like, how do you give him people unranked? It's pretty tough. Especially, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I can't find his old ranking to see if he was or not.
That's all right. All right, let's go through more of the main card here. Let's.
No, that's main card done. So now we're on to the.
No, throw it up. There's definitely more, right?
Oh no, then you're on to the prelims, which were also exciting from the ones I saw.
Can you throw up the card real
Yeah.
quick? Nunes, Jeff Neal, Kai France.
So O'Malley kicked it off.
Okay.
But then prelims. There you go.
Okay, Emmett, Ige. Okay, let's talk about Dominick Cruz.
He won.
Well, you know what I said.
Yeah.
That a massively impressive performance by Dominick Cruz, and I cannot wait to see his next fight in 3 years' time.
I got angry at you for that.
You could get angry with that.
I was like,
Many
this is
people
bullshit. Don't you dare disrespect the GOAT, dude. He's the bantamweight GOAT. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Still do the goddamn thing.
What, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the greatest fighters ever, with the slight exception that his limbs are made of paper.
Yeah.
He's injured all the time, right?
But he looked good. He got dropped early, though. But by the way, Pedro Munoz knocked out Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah.
And then Dom just beat him. And he fought Aldo before that to 5 rounds. Pedro Munoz is a fucking beast. And can you pull up Pedro Munoz's record just so we get an idea of how good the guy is that Dominick Cruz just beat? By the way, Dominick Cruz now, the most active year he's had ever, probably, since 2012, I feel like.
So just bringing up Munoz. But yeah, like Cruz looked absolutely.
He looks slick.
Round
2 and 3.
2 and 3. That movement was back. That bizarre foot movement. Like you imagine if someone showed up at Stronghold like on Monday and started doing that foot movement, you'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get out!"
No, I'd give him the keys to my gym and be like, "You're now my sensei." If someone could do that and came into the gym, I'd be like, "I must know what you know. Teach me." Okay, so yeah, let's go in there. Okay, so he beat Jimmy Rivera. That's a good win. Lost to Frankie, split decision. That's razor close though.
Oh, he lost a lot.
Lost to Aljo. But look at it. Champion. Top 5. Beat Cody Garbrandt, Caraway, Brent Johns. Okay, lost to Dodson. Split. Beat Rob Font. He's fucking good, man. He's fucking good. Okay, a little bit. Go down again. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Just so I can. No. The top 5 there. The most recent ones. Yeah. Okay, so lost to Aldo. Oh, dude. Are you kidding me? You fight Frankie Edgar, Jose Aldo, and Dominick Cruz in 3 of your last 4 fights. Get the fuck out of here. 10 years ago, that is like you're like, who did this guy kill? Like, who did this guy fucking sin to have to fight those 3 guys in a row? I mean, that is just plus. Jimmy Rivera's a beast too. He was top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Pedro Munoz has just had a schedule. That is just crazy. And so, but he knocked out Garbrandt. That was his best win recently. But Dom looked good. You got to give Dominic, go to the bantamweight top fucking whatever. You got to give Dominic somebody real legit next.
Oh, I am 100% around giving him. Yeah.
Please. Aldo Dominick Cruz. Please, Lord, give us to Aldo. I think Aldo wins that, by the way. He kicks out his legs.
Yeah, that's because he kicks him in the leg once, and that's the end of that.
But Dominic is not weak in the fight.
Yeah,
it's always in training.
Yep,
he's tough as shit in the fight.
As he proved yesterday. He got absolutely cracked in that first round, and I was like, oh, he's done. He's going to get finished here. No, just mentally powered through it all.
But if you take the Henry Cejudo plan for how to beat Dominick Cruz, he's got that footwork. You kick out his legs. You just kick until he can't walk anymore, right? And that's Aldo's thing normally, although he's been more boxing lately. And if he does that with Dominick Cruz, it might be interesting. But that fight, dude, that's one of the UFC has to make that fight. That's the featherweight GOAT and the bantamweight GOAT. I mean, you got to put those, and they're in the same division.
Do it.
Whoever wins that fights
whoever the champ is.
Jan or oh god, Peter Jan or.
Take a pee break.
Okay, I'm gonna go to after you, and then you can hold down the fort while I go pee.
Oh well, while Charmaine's gone, let's talk Tai Tuivasa.
Oh, Shoey! I would do it if I was drinking beer. I would do a Shoey right now. No, I wouldn't. That's disgusting. You know what I love about him is like
everything.
Of course, yeah, of course. But he reminds me a little bit of like WWE style. Like, how does he? So, it's like, remember when Stone Cold used to ask for the beer and people would chuck on the beer and then he would do the beer while he's standing on the top rope? It can't be like legal for the commission for people to throw him a shoe and beer. And he was like, he literally did the Stone Cold thing where he like did this and then beer started getting thrown at him. And I'm like, that can't be legal.
Not just beer. I think it was someone's shoe from the crowd.
Yeah, it was. Because then I was like, how? Is that guy's going to put on a wet shoe? Was it? I mean, I would still do it.
Yeah.
But it was awesome, right? Like, he's so fun.
Oh, he's brilliant. I absolutely. Did you see his interview afterwards? But it was basically like, oh, well, people just come here to like watch me knock people out and do a shoey.
It's true.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
But that's his thing. And it made me think, like, it's almost amazing that how WWE... Yeah, let's see if we can find a video of the Shoey. I mean, does he have a guy designed to just throw him a beer? Or is there, like... Was that just a random thing? I'm not sure what happened, how that happened. The shoe? Was that planned?
I think people now go with the plan of, like...
I'm going to... If I'm in the front row...
Yeah, I'm going to throw my fucking shoe in. Ty will do a shoey for me.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. See if you can probably go to Instagram and find a video of the Shoey. I'm sure if you hashtag Shoey, it's going to be the first thing to pop up. Because it seemed like it was planned, or it was just awesome and it just happened perfectly. But he's so awesome. He's so much fun. That's literally like a Stone Cold thing. It's like a promo thing that he can do. And it gets all of the crowd so hyped. And he's got such crazy power, and he's got those big-ass Samoan Maori legs, right? Like... Yeah, like, look at this picture of him doing this shoey. Amazing.
That looks like a very expensive Nike sneaker as well.
Yeah. Huh?
It's disgusting.
Is it? You wouldn't do a shoey?
No, I would not.
Charmaine just told me yesterday that she's thinking about doing a motherfucking MMA fight. Would you do a shoey?
No, I would not.
Why not? You wouldn't?
I would be like... Throw Skittles at me or something.
No, that's Marshawn Lynch's thing.
Yes.
The Skittle thing. But you wouldn't do a shoey?
No.
Dude, people would love it if you did a shoey. If you fucking started doing shoeys. Also, I'd never even heard of a shoey before this. All right, you guys talk about shoeys. It's my turn now.
Okay, so Charmaine, I'm going to show you the image. You're going to, win by an amazing knockout.
Okay.
Your first MMA fight.
All right.
And then you're going to call for a shoey. Yes or no?
I mean, if it gets the views, then I'll do it.
My concern is, although what shoes would you use?
I would have to plan it with someone.
Would you use a Tai Tuivasa uses a very nice Nike sneaker there. Like, what would you go for? Like a lady's shoe of some kind?
Go with like the pole heel, the The 8-inch.
No, I don't know what that is. Oh, the pole heel. Right, okay,
Pole
so
heels.
we're setting your career now. This is what you're going to be known for.
Okay.
Knocking people out clean and then doing a shoe through a pole heel.
Yeah. I would do that.
What?
But Luke has to wear it.
Oh, no, and then your walkout music can be these boots are made for walking.
Oh. I don't even know that song.
Don't say that. You understand that song. These boots are made for walking, and that's what they're gonna do. And one of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
I know that song, yes.
See, you do know that song.
I do know
right,
that song.
So, walkout music chosen, and then your celebrations chosen. So, you game?
I'm game.
Okay, we'll tell Luke in a second.
We'll do it. I heard Elvin was gonna offer me a belt for my first fight. I was like, oh god. Just let me fight an unknown card. I don't want anybody to know.
Just let me sneak in there before you make me champion. Although, you know, the belt had add to the character. You got the walkout music, you got the belt, you got the celebration. Who's gonna take the shoes to the ring for you?
Luke has to wear it out.
Oh god.
Yeah.
This is even better.
Dude, you have to wear my 8-inch heels. Boots. Take it off. Throw it to me.
All right, Charmaine. Well, what about this?
Yeah.
What about if you get a submission next Saturday? You do a shoey because she's competing on Saturday. Hey, you want to?
It's not big enough
right
to
here,
do that.
Right here on the podcast, we can say if you get a submission, we respect our opponent. What's your opponent's name?
Carol
from Impact. I respect you. This is not a disrespect thing. It's a views thing. If Charmaine gets a submission, everybody put it in the comments. I'll share this out. If she gets a submission win on Saturday, she does a motherfucking shoey from a whore pole boot.
Oh my god.
Okay, from a hoe boot.
A whole boot.
She does a shoey. That's a big shoey, by the way. Hey, even Tai Tuivasa would be proud of that. He's doing it from a little sneak fucking...
It's like a whole jug.
That's a pint, dude. You're gonna chug a pint from a
It's a jug.
from a hoe
It's not just a
boot,
pint.
from a stripper boot. Can you go to Charmaine's Instagram because she's got some pictures of her in these things. I mean, I'm sure if you've heard that, you probably know what
It looks
pole
ridiculous.
shoe looks
It looks
like.
absolutely ridiculous.
Charmaine, if you get a submission win, you do a shoey because we just talked about it on the podcast. Now you kind of have to. It'll be so much fun. People would love it. It would be ridiculous, and I'll sneak the shoe in. And if they disqualify you after, it's still worth it. I don't give a fuck.
You can get the idea from this.
Yeah,
You
so
can see it from there.
so here's look at those shoes, dude.
Oh, it makes you taller.
That's what you're going for. I mean, look at the size of that
I can
thing.
only say to the viewers...
That's a pint. That's
Yeah.
a pint shoe.
But let's just say to the viewers now, purely focus on the shoe here. Like, we're not doing
Hey,
this for views.
do not look at my wife's ass. Look at the shoe or turn this podcast off right now.
But you're not using that shoe. That one's expensive. Gotta
Yeah.
use one that's like cheap.
But I also know that you have some cheap shoes in there that you don't even use anymore in that closet. That they've been sat in there for ages.
No, not my boots though.
No, you have a boot. You have boots in there that you don't ever wear.
All right.
Also known as shoey boots from this point forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. If my wife is able to catch a submission, by the way, all we've been drilling is submissions lately. That's it. Yesterday, Tuesday, what did we do?
Wrestling.
And
Submissions.
yeah, I'm not
I
gonna
didn't
say.
agree to this.
I'm not. If I have a shoe with, by the way, I'm doing the commentary for this for this event. But if I rock up with a shoe and a beer, and I pour a shoe and a beer after you win, and we do it on camera, that would be. Well, we get in trouble. Who's organizing this? Should I ask?
Tiffany.
It'll be Alvin, won't it?
Huh? No,
Is it Alvin?
this isn't Alvin.
Tiffany.
No, is she actually organizing it?
I mean, she's the one that asked me if I wanted to do it, so I think she is. Her and Glenn.
We
Is it
should
Glenn?
ask. We should ask how upset
Oh,
people will be if we do a shoey if you win before we just go and plan this.
Yeah, kids are gonna watch it.
I'm not
The
mad
kids
at
that
that.
I teach are gonna watch it.
Jake watched the UFC with his kids. Tai Tuivasa's there
So,
doing a
mate,
shoey.
if you win and do a shoey, my kids will be so proud of you.
Out of a
They
whole
think
boot.
it was the best thing
Out
ever.
of a whole boot. I don't think anybody would be proud of that.
I would be.
I would.
See? two straight away.
Oh, okay.
Everybody would be proud of that. I don't want to like piss anybody off that's like organizing the event, but if they're cool with it, then let's do it.
No, they'll be fine with it. They want eyes on this event, and this will definitely do that.
Oh,
And
yeah. Girl, I can imagine the tag right now. Girl wins by submission, does Shoey out of stripper shoe.
Oh my God.
That would go viral. That might sell my channel, dude. That might.
Also, to be respectful, Carol, is it Carol the other fighter?
Yeah.
You can do a Shoey as well.
Yeah.
We're on board.
If she submits you, I'll give her a Shoey.
Yeah.
Or you both do a Shoey.
Oh,
You got 2 boots? I mean, come on. You do a Shoey together. Fuck it. I don't know if she drinks, though. She might not drink at all. She might be
Probably has more
Muslim.
self-respect
She might be
than
Muslim
I
or
do.
something, and this is extremely offensive.
No, she's Chinese.
Oh, she might not, and it's fine.
Well, anyway, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm curious about this. And you can find, by the way, just side piece, you can watch Charmaine compete and you can watch the event on the live stream, which I'm doing the commentary for, and she's competing, and we will post all of the details on some form of social media. So if you're, what is it? What's the event? Jake, can you go to Charmaine's Instagram and just throw the screenshot there of the fight thing? It should be on her Instagram.
SG grappling.
If you go down,
it's called Get a Grip.
It's there. Oh, it should be right there. Did you not share it?
No, I didn't share it.
Oh God, Charmaine.
I don't want people
You're
to
such
know.
a nerd, dude. Go to Strongholds. If you go to
I
Strongholds.
didn't even tell my parents I was gonna do it.
FD Wrestling?
No, just go to Stronghold. I shared it on the Stronghold Instagram. Yeah. By the way.
There we go.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
And you can throw that up there. So it's Get a Grip.
Get a Grip.
Nogi grappling 50 kilos. Carol Lim from Impact MMA. Nogi grappling 50 kg. United World Wrestling Rules, which I'm only learning what those are.
Yeah, don't get disqualified.
What are the sponsors there? Just so that if
Excelsior Finance, SJI.
Excelsior Finance. I probably don't want me drinking a
Shoey.
beer out of a whole food.
I feel like Excelsior Finance probably isn't into the whole stripper or shoey
No, I
idea.
don't think so.
But if you are, hit me up so we can clear this shit before we go.
Oh, wait, I've got a better idea. You can make it classy. Drink champagne.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a bottle.
She does. Here's what we do, okay? Nobody can stop us from doing a shoey on the side that we record. We don't have to put it on the feed, right? It doesn't have to be like...
Why are you so...
Because it's the best idea of all time. It's the best idea of all time. We're talking about Tai Tuivasa in honor of the big man. In honor of the big man doing a shoey, you do a fucking stripper shoey.
You've got your own
Stripper
version of it now,
shoey.
where you do a stripper shoey, which is the stripper boot, and
There's a stripper shoey.
stripper shoey, stripper boot, and either champagne or what do they drink on Sex in the City all the time? Mojitos.
Mojito. Nah, fuck that. It's got to be a beer. That's the thing. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll bring 2 shoes. I'll bring 2 beers. If you and Carol, either way, whoever wins, if you do the shoey together, it'll be awesome. If you do the shoey solo, cool. We'll record it. Doesn't have to be on like the feed for the live event. We can just do it on the side and keep. And if the event's cool with it, then we can cut it in there, right? But I don't want to piss anybody off that's letting me do commentary for them. Like maybe we talk about to Tiffany and see if she's cool with this or not, Tiffany Teo, and we see how it goes. But this might be a work of genius.
Wow.
You and the girl do a shoey together. I don't know if she drinks beer, but you should message her and be like, hey,
By
you
the
drink
way,
beer? Because we've got this weird idea that you might not be into
Start
at
on
all.
a day itself. Like during the match, hey, are you down?
She's like, I don't even...
just as you're
Down
about to
to a
slap hands and fist bump. Oh, by the way,
Shoey after? Okay. Anyway, this is the best idea we've ever had in the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's rock and roll with this. Moving on. Moving on to less shoey-based plans. By the way, I got more beer, Jake, if you need.
that is good. So we said we were going to
Cracking
talk about Fight of the Year because it's the Christmas episode, but I
Yes.
think that's a done deal already because it was obviously Max Holloway versus Cater. Yes or no?
Fight of the year? You mean...
Like, what was the best fight this year?
I was thinking...
My vote's Holloway Cater.
Cater? That wasn't competitive, though.
Yeah, but Max Holloway hit him like 700 odd times. It was amazing.
Okay, so what's the criteria for fight of the year then? Is it like the fight that you enjoyed the most?
One, did it have Max Holloway in it?
'Cause you love Max Holloway.
Did he hit someone 700 plus times?
What about Gaethje and Chandler?
Oh, good call. That also enjoyable. I will. It's like we're betting now. I will top you with that with Volkanovski Ortega.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say. That's what I was thinking you were going to go with. I can't. It's hard to say when I'm sat here and I've had 2 giant glasses of scotch and we're talking about stripper shoeys. It's hard for me to remember exactly what the best. Can you Google best MMA fights of 2021 and just so I can see? I'm sure I saw it, but just so I have a reference point about what the best ones were. But that Gaethje Chandler one was fucking crazy. Okay. All right. Let's throw that up there and read it out for me if you don't mind.
It stops it and it has the first fight.
Oh, excellent.
It's really useful.
Just click on it. It'll make it big. What?
So this is from
Poirier McGregor
MMA Sucker.
Oh my god. I don't trust this source, but let's at least hear him out.
Let's see what they've got to say.
But it said Poirier McGregor 2. What?
No, but that's at number 10.
Okay.
So
wasn't a good fight though. I mean, Poirier just dominated. Poirier, why did you have to lose, dude?
We're back by memories.
Why did you have to
Pedro
lose?
Nunes, Jimmy Rivera.
That was a good fight. I do
fight.
remember that. Yes.
Drew Dober, Brad Riddell.
Also good.
Mike Davis, Mason Jones.
Didn't see that.
Ponzinibbio.
Really good
Beza.
fight. Yeah, that was a good fight.
Did not see that one. Burgos.
Oh,
Barboza.
yeah. That was a great fight. It wasn't good. So what was the... Burgos' last fight was better. Anyway, okay, let's keep going down. Let's see what else we got here. Volkanovski Ortega. Oliveira Chandler. Yuri Prochazka. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, hey!
Oh!
So, is number 2, if you're listening to this, is Yuri Prochazka and Dominick Reyes. Because we're just like, and we're seeing it. But so, that was a good fight, man. Dominick Reyes had him hurt. That was a good fight. And then number 1, according to this list, is Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. But this is probably before Chandler Gaethje, I feel like.
Yes. And also, this is very UFC heavy, because I would potentially put in there just because...
Nastyukhin and Daggy?
Yes.
Yeah.
And...
I just watched that today.
Leok as well was a very exciting fight.
Close.
That was close, and Lee got robbed.
Just involve the board. Just call the board. Bring in the board. The board, if you overturn this...
That hadn't have happened, if Lee had just taken the loss and been like, I want a rematch, let's get on with it, we'd think a lot higher about that.
Why do that when you can call the board? I'd like the board to get... I can't keep doing this anymore. I can't keep doing this anymore. I love one, by the way. I'm just talking shit, guys. Okay? I'm talking shit.
He wants to comment on it.
I mean, I'll comment
You
or
want to be the
commentate on
commentary?
anything.
Hire him one.
Now all of a sudden, this commentator stuff is starting to happen, and I'm like, maybe I don't want to burn all my bridges.
Maybe calling the board is a reasonable option after all.
You know what? Let's call the board. No, I've been open with one and about one, and from the beginning, I fucking love one. I watch all of them. But this board thing, pretty sketch-tastic. All right, dude. So, can you throw up one more list? Let's do one more. See if we can get best fights, because I feel like there must have been a few others. They were pretty good.
Tapology, which is Major's recommendation.
Okay, let's take a look at Tapology and see if they got the best fights. I'm gonna smash this beer.
Or you're going to agree with their number 1.
What is their number 1? Okay. So number 1 is on Tapology is Gaethje Chandler. Number 2, Volkanovski Ortega. Number 3, Reyes versus Prochazka. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that one. That was a fucking banger, though. Holloway Kattar. I just don't understand why people think that was good. I mean, I get why it was... Because you're a Max Holloway dick rider, so I get why you...
I think he's currently my favourite fighter.
Because... Yeah, exactly. That's why I feel like, of course you enjoy it. If you're a fucking Charles Oliveira fan, I'm not, I'd be like you right now.
Do not be like, it's just me who enjoyed it. There's podcast evidence of me and you creaming over Max Holloway's performance for a good
that's
hour.
offensive. I'm trying to get a job at one, dude. You can't talk about creaming on my podcast. No, you're right. But the weird thing was, it wasn't the competitiveness of the fight. It was more
just
like
how brilliant it was.
How brilliant it was for Holloway and how tough it was for Kattar, right?
Yeah.
That was the thing. Like, and people do appreciate that, and that makes it fun. It was also similar with Ortega and Volkanovski. Because the reality was, there was only like a few moments where where Ortega was competitive. Mostly, Volkanovski controlled it, and Ortega was still competitive throughout. But the moments of danger for Volkanovski were pretty slim.
Apart from that, pretty slim. Apart from when his head's bright red, because he had him. Like, I've never seen anyone get out of a guillotine that tight.
That was I could not. And it's so risky too the way he defended, because he used both of his hands to push the knees instead of using one to defend the choke. It's a fucking bold move, man. I'll tell you that. All right, so what else we got here? But Reyes Prohaska, that's a good call. Jan Sandhagen, that's number. What's that?
That's 5.
That's a good one too.
Oliveira Chandler, Holloway Rodriguez.
Oh, that's a good one. That might be my number 2. That was a good one, man. That was a really good fight.
That was more competitive than the Cater fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely more competitive and more fun too, because Rodriguez throws crazy stuff. He's a little bit like who were we just talking about? We're talking Ryan Hall, which we haven't got to yet.
No.
You know, it's like you watch your Rodriguez fight. You don't know what he's going to throw. You don't know what he's going to do, and that makes watching them so unique compared to like your typical MMA fight where you know what's going to happen, or at least the styles and how they're going to fight, because most people have an MMA style.
Yeah.
That's like 80% of the fights you watch are an MMA style. But when you watch Rodriguez fight and when you watch Ryan Hall fight and some of these people, it's so different watching them fight that also is an element of entertainment, especially for me as an MMA nerd. They do stuff so differently that it's just worth watching solely for that reason. Okay, so that's solid. And then we have number 6, Oliveira Chandler.
Holloway Rodriguez, Ponzinibbio Beza.
8.
Burgos Barboza, Sandhagen Dillashaw.
Also a good one. Davis versus Jones. Okay.
Then it goes on a bit into some fight nights and lower things.
So that was the top 10. Yeah. So I would give... Wait, one more time? If we're going to give the fight of the year, let's give this our 3, even though Charmaine probably only watched a few of them. Mine is... Oh, shit. I mean, if we're going for the most fun, it's Gaethje Chandler.
Yeah.
That's the most fun. Wasn't the most competitive. I feel like the most competitive, the most dangerous was probably Reyes versus Prohaska. The one that I was shitting myself the most over was probably Volkanovski Ortega. Charmaine knows. Remember we were walking home from the MRT station?
Yes, I know. I was trying to film you.
Yeah, she literally was filming me as I'm watching it. And when he's in that guillotine, I'm walking home from the train watching it on my phone. And I'm just like, I'm literally like having heart palpitations and I can't breathe. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh, he got him in a guillotine. And then I was like, oh, he's got him in a triangle. And I'm just like literally going crazy over this. And Charmaine started filming me while I'm walking down the street. So
and he's like so loud all the time.
I can't help it.
With the fight, it's like, oh my god.
And you guys all know me, right? You hear when I do the commentary, you hear on the podcast. It just happens, and I'm like, even when Amanda Nunes was like, there were 6 people rolling. It was like sparring class, I'm just like, it stopped. People would just come over, like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, oh no, she's getting knocked out, and then like all of a sudden, everybody's behind us.
Everybody's like petting him in the back. Like,
Davin,
are you right?
So Davin, this guy that trains with us, dude, when Poirier. Because he dropped him so many times, like in the first round when Poirier dropped Oliveira.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I thought it was going to be over. And I was like, oh shit. And Davin starts rubbing my back. He's like, calm down. Just calm down. Just calm down.
Just breathe.
And then in the third round or the second round when Poirier, I was happy because he was defending it. And then as soon as I saw it go under his shit, and I was like, fuck, I screamed, fuck, like before he even tapped. I knew it was done. Right. And I was just like, oh no. Then I feel Charmaine's hand on my back. It's like, it's okay. Life will get easier eventually. Eventually, this blow will be softened by time.
Yeah, but it won't.
But I was so sensitive about it, dude.
I think if you look at the list, I'll bring it up. Oh wait, wrong button. I think.
What would you go with?
A top 3. I don't think I can actually do best one because they're all different in what happened. But like Gaethje Chandler's up there, Volkanovski Ortega, and Holloway Cater, and. Depends what you want out of your life as to which one of those was actually the best.
What about, okay, Charmaine? You watched a few of those. You watched...
You know, I don't really remember most of the guys' fight. Like, I remember, like, the goal fights. That's about it. Like, you know, I believe this is the right 3.
I mean, you can't go wrong with it. What about upset of the year? I mean, I feel like it's pretty fucking obvious,
Amanda
right?
Nunes.
Yeah.
What else could there possibly
Nunes,
be?
the only other possible one was actually in the one with Ock winning over Christian Lee.
What about Glover?
Oh. I forgot about Glover.
Yeah, Glover beating Blachowicz.
But that, it wasn't an upset. It wasn't an upset in the sense of like Glover. You would going into the fight. You're like Glover could win this. Like Glover could actually do this. I don't think anyone was saying he stands no chance at all whatsoever. Whereas Pena, everyone's like, "Jeez."
But I felt like that about Akrayun. I thought Akrayun could beat Christian.
Not with the involved factor.
Well, I will say that what made that the most crazy was that, yeah, I mean, it was in Singapore. It was a hometown decision. I thought, like, in that environment, they would give it to Christian. I thought Christian still won.
Yeah,
I
think
thought
Christian
he should have
won.
got the win. But
he didn't.
yeah. But Amanda Nunes upset of the year. What about, like, let's go with fighter of the year or, fighter of the year.
It's hard to look beyond Oliveira, I'd say.
Yeah, especially with that.
Or Glover. Oh, because I just thought Glover then for a second.
I mean, I was even thinking Usman.
No, but that's boring.
But he beat Colby the second time.
Yeah, but it's boring.
He beat Gilbert Burns. Did he have three? Did he have 3 this year? Check
No,
on
I think he
check
had
on
2.
Marty Fake Newsman. Let's see how many he had this. Do you have 3 wins this year? I mean, upset of the year for me is definitely Amanda Nunes. That's the upset of the year. Fighter of the year, I got to go Oliveira. Charlie motherfucking Olives, dude. Pains me to say because it should be just Poirier.
Let me just see. No, but I'm not giving it. I don't care how many fights Usman had this year.
If he had 3 title wins,
exciting.
if he had 3 title wins, was it 2 or 3? No, it was 3 because Masvidal, Burns, and Colby.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if we're being fair, if we're not being emotionally connected, Jake, I just gave Charlie Olives mine, and I'm sad still. If we're being objective here, could be. He had the most
I think
title.
I think actually.
Did I convince you?
Yeah. I don't want to say
you.
emotionally no, but actually yeah.
But Charlie Olives though.
Amazing.
But Oliveira had Ferguson, and he had Poirier, and he had Chandler. Was that this year? All 3 were this year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could listen. I mean, it's fucking potato. Like, because the thing with Usman is that Gilbert Burns is like a lightweight. Let's be honest about this. And he beat Woodley when Woodley was already on the decline, and he beat Masvidal, who already he'd beat, and then he beat Colby. But that fight was a fucking banger. I'd give it to Oliveira over Usman.
I just want to see who Teixeira did this year.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. We're not even talking about Adesanya. We haven't even mentioned Adesanya.
Here we go. So this is Teixeira this year.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh no, it's not giving it. Give me a sec.
Oh, it just took a while to load. So Blachowicz, Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith. That's not bad either, man. Go down a little bit. Was below that? What's below that? Was Krylov this year too?
No, I don't think so.
What's the year?
Oh no, that's 2019. That's
Okay.
a long time ago. So when did? Oh wait.
No, I feel like the most recent 3 were this year.
Oh, it's a tough one.
I gotta go with Charlie Olives. Maybe I'm being a victim of the moment. Chucky Olives. You son of a bitch. You pearly teethed, big mouth son of a bitch. Beautiful teeth.
Not even mentioned Rose.
Oh,
as well.
Yeah.
Why nobody talk about the girl fights? Only the guy fights.
Okay, so Charmaine, who's the female? Oh no, it's fair. So who's the female fighter of the year?
Rose Namajunas.
What about Juliana Pena? Knocking out.
Oh my god, dude!
She submitted the goat. She submitted the goat.
You literally said she boxes like this.
What about Shevchenko?
Oh yeah, Shevchenko.
And also, Juliana Pena beat the greatest of all time. If somebody knocked out Mike Tyson in his prime, and they're like, "Oh yeah, who's the fighter of the year?" People will be like, "Whoever did that."
No, but you said this year. I think Rose is this year. I think all time is Valentina.
No. Okay, so who's the fighter of this year?
I think Rose.
Pena gets nothing for knocking out or for choking out Amanda Nunes?
Dude, that was a fluke.
What the fuck,
She would not win again. I think she would not win again.
Holy shit.
It's weird because what's clearly come out of this conversation is that it's actually been an amazing year of fights. But because of the entire situation we're currently living through, it didn't necessarily feel like it at times. You're like, oh, I just want this year to be over. And
Yeah, because we
finished.
all had our real lives to live, and that was horrible enough. And then, I mean, I don't know. Who's your female fighter of the year, Jake? Listen, I can't disrespect Juliana Pena. I don't give a fuck if it's a fluke. That's ridiculous.
I think,
like, am I the only one that thinks it's fucking crazy that she won? Like,
but she beat the best. Like, who before this weekend? If you said who's the best fighter on the planet right now, pound for pound, gender aside, Amanda Nunes, 100%.
And it's literally impossible to think about her losing 2 days ago.
Yeah,
like impossible.
Oh.
Everyone else is like, oh, you can see some possibility of it.
No.
But Shevchenko though has been so dominant. I mean, here's the thing, right? It would have been Nunes because she's been so dominant. So you give Pena the boost because she beat the GOAT. But Valentina has just destroyed everyone. Rose, I wouldn't give it to Rose because she squeaked by Weili there.
Yeah, she's not been as active this year either.
Yeah. Can you pull her up? Let's see who wrote. Did she fight anyone else this year?
I don't think so, but I'm willing to be wrong.
Did she beat Weili earlier in the year, right? I think they fought. Was it twice this year?
I'm just trying to get it. 20. Oh, so she's. Oh yeah, so she fought Weili twice this year.
That's it, right?
Yeah, and then let's check out Shevchenko.
Yeah, Shevchenko. You Russian. You know how to pronounce these Russian names, dude?
I think she's.
They're gonna find you.
I think she's actually Ukrainian. You racist. Oh, I've got the wrong person.
She's actually Kyrgyzstani.
Oh, damn it.
What's the word if you're from Kyrgyzstan? Kyrgyzstan?
Oh, so she beat Andrade this year, and she beat Lauren Murphy. So I suppose that's not
it? Only
best
two?
competition.
Only two?
Yeah.
Juliana Pena. I'm going to say it right now. Juliana Pena. I'm going to say it. And here's my argument. You were in the
Because she
bathroom.
beat Amanda.
You hear my argument?
Because she beat the best in the world.
Yes. That's number one.
I mean, that seems a good reason.
Yeah. The best of all time? Yeah. Fucking, you beat the best of all time. Get over it already. Let's move on.
It's one fight, dude. Come on.
No, but here my argument. Rose only fought Weili twice.
Yeah, but then she also beat the... What was the other girl that...
No,
that's
just-
no,
no,
she only fought
this
twice
year.
this year.
Oh.
This year. And the second one was pretty close.
But then...
Shevchenko only beat Lauren Murphy and... Who did you say?
Whatever we just said.
Whatever.
Jump back in the video. We've been drinking.
Rewind 30 seconds. I can't help you guys anymore.
No, and then Pena fought twice this year, so Sarah McCann and then Amanda Nunes.
By the way, Sarah McMahon is an Olympic wrestling silver medalist. To beat Sarah McMahon in a combat sport and Amanda Nunes, listen, Juliana Pena, may have been a fluke. I don't give a fuck. Fluke or not, you did what you were supposed to do. You won. You're my female fighter of the year. For however much you care, which is none.
Fine.
You are my female fighter of the year. Charmaine's is Rose. Jake?
Oh yeah, you got to give it Pena really. I mean, the other two are also amazing fighters, and if you looked over the last 2-3 years, then Pena's not in that conversation. But this year, you got to give it a.
And hottest female fighter of the year. Jake?
I find Pena strangely attractive.
Charmaine?
You can vote for yourself, Charmaine.
Paige Fenzen.
Now, because we don't discriminate on this podcast, hottest male fighter of the year, Jake. Notice I'm making you
No,
go
but you
first.
didn't
No.
say. You didn't
Oh,
say.
no,
Oh, I didn't say mine. Okay.
That's
Hottest
easy.
female fighter of the year. Hold on, I gotta say mine first. I mean, Paige doesn't really fight. I'm gonna go with Rose.
Oh, she's hot. Yeah.
It's good.
I like the bald
hottest
thing.
male fighter of the year is quite easy. It's male, Brian Ortega.
Really?
What?
He is a good-looking fella, and I will not hear anything I've said against him.
Charmaine, hottest male fighter of the year.
God, there's so many.
Oh, settle down. Keep it in your pants.
You say
dude.
yours first.
No, you say your first. You're the female. You're the female voice here. No one gives a fuck who I think is the hottest dude in MMA.
Oh, I think Dustin.
Oh, bitch. You might have taken mine.
It's literally like you've got a thing.
He's
for
got a
rednecks
heart of
from
gold.
America.
Yeah. Okay. Mine, hottest dude, guy I'd most likely bone.
John Jones.
No, I just don't want him to hurt me. That's maybe. I'm going to give a little bit of... I don't like him as a person, but Paulo Costa... I'd fuck that dude.
What?
He looks good. That's all I'm saying. Even though the guy's hair transplants and shit.
Oh my god.
I think it's the body more than anything.
Yeah.
Probably the dick size. Maybe that's what I'm into. Anyway, this is how you know we've had way too many drinks on the podcast when we're talking about... okay. Anyway.
So, we can't decide on who fighter of the year is. We can't decide on what the match of the year was. And we can't decide on which male fighter we'd most like to have sex with. So we're doing really well.
I feel like we decided all those things very clearly. Like, without ambiguity at all. All right. Well, what else? What other year-end awards are there? Submission, knockout of the year. Let's start with knockout of the year. I mean, what was the craziest? I got one. Who was the heavyweight wheel kick?
Yeah, what was that?
What was his
guy's
name?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
It was a couple weeks ago. Oh, I can't remember the guy's name. The
dude,
taekwondo.
right?
Yeah, the big fat boy. Oh, so you got to find that, Jake. To me, that's knockout of the year. A heavyweight, big old tubby boy like that, knockout. I loved it. It was so much fun.
All right, here are the Tapology options.
Okay, let's see. You can read the top 5.
Sandhagen, Edgar.
Oh, that was good. That was a wheel kick. No, Marlon Moraes also.
Flying knee.
And Marlon Moraes and Sandhagen was also a wheel kick.
Reyes.
Prohaska.
Thank you. Spinning elbow. Usman.
Usman and Masvidal.
Yeah, we've all just given it that one.
That was a good one.
Blades Lewis.
Oh, shit, yeah,
John
that's a good one.
number Nunes.
Yeah.
Lewis is your top 5.
No, but what's that guy? If you go down, you'll find it. I'm quite certain. Oh, McGregor, Poirier. Both of them, Hooker, Chandler. Where's the big fat boy? What's his name?
No, it's not on there for some reason.
What?
He should be.
I don't know how to Google it other than fat dude.
MMA. Oh, there you
Wheel
go. Is
kick.
it Valente?
Oh, yeah.
Barnett.
Chris Barnett. Chris
I'm
Barnett
happy with
gets
that. I'll
my
give him.
entertainment value, Chris Barnett. Like, most technical, like, crazy, insane, I give to Sandhagen versus Moraes. Was that this year?
Yeah, they were all this year, I think.
Sandhagen Moraes, not Edgar. I might be splitting hairs by a few months or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but...
Submission of the year. The options are... I'm going for Tapology here.
Read the top ones here.
I don't even know why we're reading this, because obviously the submission of the year happened yesterday when it was either Oliveira or Pena, because it was so wild.
I don't know. How about number 1? Read number 1 on that list, and we might rethink this.
Vieira, Hernandez.
Rodolfo Vieira getting submitted by Hernandez, who just won.
Ooh.
Who just won also on this fight card. We haven't talked about him yet. Also, the same fucking armbar. He got that same armpit. Actually, remember the one you wanted to drill?
Yeah.
The armpit armbar.
You're like, that doesn't work. Stop doing that. Just
It doesn't usually work. Here's where it works
Just grab
better.
wrist on
No.
wrist.
Here's where it works better. In MMA, the glove, because you're getting more
Gets
surface
stuck.
area, it gets stuck. That actually helps it. It really does. Generally, I know agree with what I said yesterday, but tell the story, Charmaine, of why we're talking about this.
What? What do you mean, why we're talking about this?
Because we were just training and talking
Yeah,
about this.
we were drilling, and then I was trying to do the armbar to him, and then I got it, like, on my armpit, and then I was trying to sit back and finish it, and then he was like, no, don't do it like that. You put it wrist on wrist. It's stronger like that. I was like, but
Hands on wrist.
yes, hands on wrist, like a baseball bat. But he was like, no, don't do it there. Don't put it in your armpit. It doesn't work. Don't do that. Just do it like I showed you.
And when you win by submission with that next week, you have to do a show. So it's really straightforward, really.
Yes.
There's no problems there. What are you going for submission of the year? Surely, like, I don't
Barnett, yeah, that one is that fight.
No, but submission of the year, I think... Because they've obviously not got yesterday's fights in it.
Not knockout of the year, submission of the year.
Yeah, submission of the year. It must be the Oliveira one from yesterday, because he spun into that. Oh, Luke's yelling Pena from the bathroom. But no, he spun into that at such a speed. Like, he was on the back before Poirier even knew what was happening.
Yeah,
So-
Luke lost his mind.
So I'm calling that for submission of the year. Luke's not here, so Max Holloway's fighter of the year, no matter what anyone else says.
Is that your favorite fighter?
Yes, at this moment in time. And knockout of the year is Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder. So done. Show finished.
But what about submission of the year? Go back to that.
Submission of the
Real
year.
quick, submission of the year. Let me just see what the options were. Just because I can't remember all of them.
Again, I think this hasn't got yesterday's fights in it, so it's not got Pena in there, and it's
Okay,
not.
but Rodolfo Vieira Hernandez is really good because Hernandez just also won by. By the way, this guy wasn't a fluke. You see the submission he got on yesterday's fights? It was crazy. Woodley versus Luque. Oh, that's solid though, man. I mean, that's respect. Figueiredo Moreno too. Man, that's number 3.
Yes.
Nunes versus Anderson. We'll skip past that because of the one yesterday. Definitely. Okay, hold on. Wait. Go up a little bit more. What was?
Wait, is that Khabib's brother?
That's Usman or Umar.
No, the Nurmagomedov.
Umar
right?
Nurmagomedov.
Is he Khabib's brother?
I think cousin or something like that.
Oh.
Okay, so we take the top 5 there. I mean, what about Jordan Pena? I mean, you got to give her the respect for the submission. Oliveira, you can throw him in there too. Like
Oliveira, I was just saying to Charmaine, he got on the back so quickly that I've got to give it that. Against fucking Dustin Poirier as well. Like, against someone who's an amazing, like, BJJ practitioner himself. And to just jump on him, and then Poirier just had no answer for it. I'm giving it Oliveira.
I have to give it to Hernandez. I mean, submitting Rodolfo with an armbar like that.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, come on, that's ridiculous. Rodolfo Vieira is one of the best jiu-jitsu competitors to ever enter into MMA, and that's crazy. And that dude submitted another guy yesterday. Can you go to the main card? Let's talk about Ryan Hall. I know you didn't get to see the fight.
I didn't see it, but
Let's go to we'll finish up on the UFC, the one from yesterday, the undercard, because Hernandez won again with that same armbar, the one where the thumb is in the armpit and you just stretch, and then he switched it.
He won by points, right?
No, he won by submission.
Oh, really?
Again, yeah. This guy's good, man. I think they say he won 8 fights in a row or something like that.
early prelims.
Yeah, prelims, early prelims. You can throw it up there for me.
There you go.
No, wait.
Decision, right?
No, Munoz. No, that's not it. Eh?
Yeah.
Am I confusing someone?
Round 3.
No, Munoz is the guy that broke Jacare's arm, right? I don't know. Whatever. I might be confusing them. Okay, let's talk about Ryan Hall because...
I didn't see it too, but...
Yeah, I mean, this one was crazy. Because it's like Ryan Hall doesn't wrestle. He kept doing stuff where like people would throw... The guy... who did he fight? He fought Derek Minner. And he kept... Like, guy would throw overhands and he would do this weird forward roll where he like... You know the one where you... Like, someone's behind you and you get their leg between you and then you can roll into the knee bar?
Yeah.
If someone's got your back and then like you can...
Never works though, I mean, unless you're him.
Works for him. And he just kept flopping to it, but then he would use... And the other thing he would keep doing is the backside 50-50. He kept getting there over and over and over again. And then he would use his leg locks to sweep, and then once he got on top, he was able to finish people. But but he didn't finish this guy. The guy had pretty good defense, actually. But it's just crazy that he's able to decision people like this and win with...
Especially because people know what he's going to do, and they still can't really do much to it.
Yeah,
to defend it.
His corner was so angry.
Why?
Because he kept grappling with him.
Well, why? What's wrong with that?
I mean, because they didn't want him to, obviously, but you get stuck there, and it's hard to separate so cleanly. But it's one of the most unique styles of MMA you'll ever see because he throws a lot of wheel kicks, and he throws a lot of high kicks, and he throws a lot of low kicks, and there's really nothing traditional about it. And he gets hit still, but anytime someone gets close to him at all, and one thing he did, that he was like, he would throw knees real tight because what he's trying to do is get people to catch. Is like he wants them to take him down. So he's throwing kicks and knees where like if you grab it, if you catch the knee, if you catch the kick and you take him down, it's like okay for him. So that's why he doesn't punch because he can't catch a punch. But a knee and a kick, you can catch those. And then if you grab it even for a second, he'll just flop or he'll roll into his leg attacks. And he kept going to backside 50-50, which I thought was really interesting. And but at the end, and he would use his leg locks to sweep. So every time he would get into some leg entanglement, he would do a lot of the K-guard, closed guard entry from K-guard to backside 50-50, which we've drilled a lot at the gym. And really fucking interesting.
Yeah.
No one fights like him. You can't train for Ryan Hall.
He insists as well that although 50-50 is literally called 50-50 because you're both then in an even position for attack, he says whoever is best at that position will win it every time. And he just drills it like there's no tomorrow. And he's right, because all things aside, if you can get someone into that 50-50 position and you're better at it than them, you stand a very good chance of at least advancing position.
And the position's so esoteric that there's no one that's even close to as good as him in that position in MMA.
Yeah.
Like in jiu-jitsu, I'm sure there are people who can challenge him in that position, but in MMA, no one like top 15 UFC fighter is like drilling 50-50. Unless you're fighting Ryan Hall. Right? That's the only
but then
time.
you can't play catch up with him because he's that
There's
good.
no
at it.
fucking way.
His gym's literally called 50-50 BJJ.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, but then he lost to Tempura, the guy that knocked him out in his most recent fight, and he's 38 years old. You know, he's knocking on the door, man. It's going to be tough for Ryan Hall moving forward. I think he should just probably finish his contract and then ride out. I mean, his record right now in the UFC is like 6-1 or 5-1 or something like that.
Yeah, there were people who insisted, BJJ people who insisted that Khabib couldn't beat him in an MMA fight.
No,
Bizarre.
dude.
No, I'm not joking. People were adamant that like Ryan Hall was the antidote to Khabib. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu fucking fuck boys who have never actually done MMA. Like, good luck with that shit. Khabib's jiu-jitsu is ridiculous.
But Khabib's wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, of course, but even if Ryan Hall pulled guard, in Khabib's ground and pound,
Yeah.
that dude will cave a fucking hole in your skull. Look what Taipura did to him. I mean, come on, dude, get the fuck out of here with that shit. I can't even entertain that conversation. Like, it's just so ridiculous. Even if he tried to pull guard, it would just be like, it would be like the worst thing that I hate watching, which is like a jiu-jitsu guy try to fight MMA and to just pull guard the whole time, and then like you watch it and you just keep jumping, keep flopping, their butt scooting, but you're watching this and you're like, oh, this is fighting? Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, dude, come on. It would be interesting. I'd watch it. I mean, I'd definitely watch it. If Khabib and Ryan Hall did like an exhibition MMA fight, I'd watch the shit out of that just because I'm curious. But, dude...
There are a lot of those just like jiu-jitsu and MMA fighters like coming in to do grappling matches now.
Yeah, what about combat jiu-jitsu? Like if
Craig
Khabib
Jones
fought
and-
Ryan Hall.
Khabib would slap the shit out of him.
Yeah, I don't think he would. I don't think he would fare well. All right, well, Charmaine, you compete this Saturday. How you feeling? Are we agreed? Are we in agreement on the Shoey thing? I feel like we got to lock this down.
Shoey thing, and we've got your walkout music sorted. So, everyone should tune into the event.
Wait, what's our walkout music?
But these boots are made for walking.
Oh.
You know the song?
I didn't know the song.
Yeah. So it's
And
absolutely
then I'm gonna
perfect.
drink out of my boot.
Do you get a walkout song? Is that an option?
I don't think so.
If it was.
Well, make it an option. If you have to take your own portable speaker and walk out with Luke holding it behind you, make it happen.
Walk out like Deontay Wilder with like the whole shebang.
But Wilder Fury, I heard you mention that earlier. Definitely knockout of the year. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And boxing fight of the year. Although there were a couple pretty good ones. Did you see the Timofeo Lopez thing? So Timofeo Lopez lost to Kambosos, who used to train with Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Guy had almost died. Timofeo Lopez just beat Lomachenko before this fight. See if you can find this, and we'll end on this. But so Timofeo Lopez had some, was it lung issue or heart swelling or something like that going into the fight or after the fight? And it was a really competitive fight. Lopez got dropped in the first round, I think, which is crazy because he beat Lomachenko and nobody thought Kambosos was going to win. But Timofeo Lopez health or injury or whatever, if you type that in, you're going to find something.
He almost died.
He almost died. Like the doctor's saying he almost died because his injury was so severe. Timofeo Lopez.
Just trying to find it now.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. I think it was a lung or a heart or something like that. Timofeo Lopez doctor, maybe, if you type that in. Timofeo Lopez.
Oh, found it. Lucky not to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
one.
Can you read this for me? I mean, this was crazy. He's like 25 or something, too. He's young. get through the ads.
So Timofey Lopez told he was lucky not to die during defeat by Judge Cambosos. Could have died during his defeat last weekend. The doctor was warned. Medical records show he fought with air trapped in his chest,
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
a condition known as big word. Lopez suffered from asthma and contracted COVID during the summer. He could have died for sure, said his doctor.
Yeah. And there was a crazy fight. Like, it was really competitive. A split decision over 12 rounds or something like that. So that's how close the fight was. And it was the... Cambosos is Australian. He's the first ever unified Australian boxing world champion of all time. So good, kudos to that dude, and kudos to Australia for winning a boxing world championship. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, damn, this guy. Like, because you know how hard it is to fight anyway? And this guy was like on the brink of death. And fighting like that.
Still went for it. Huh? Yeah,
Still went for it, man. All right, everybody. On that note, so the moral of the story on this podcast is that this is the Christmas episode, Fighter of the Year, Fights of the Year. Great breakdown of the most recent card. Charmaine's going to do a stripper shoey if she wins. And if she doesn't win, well, her opponent can do a stripper shoey.
Yeah.
Or they can do it together. We don't discriminate here. Anybody can do any shoey that they want.
Wait, let's give it some love though. Where do people tune in? Is it Facebook or YouTube?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think it's
not sure.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I think it's Facebook. We'll share it. I'll share it. If you follow me at Lukas Leasure or Charmaine at Charmaine LSM, follow us or Charmaine Lim Leasure or whatever on Facebook. We'll share the link and you guys can follow it. Otherwise, just keep your kind of eyes open. I'm sure it's going to be circulating a lot this week because the fights are on Saturday, and Jake's going to throw it up on the main screen if you're watching this. So it's Get a Grip. December 18th, 2021, Nogi Grappling 50 kilos. The link will be there. I'm doing the commentary. Charmaine's going to do her best to choke out a girl, choke her out, and do a shoey. And if not, it's all good. If not, it's all good. If she gets choked, not the first time, not the last time. This is the way. This is the way shit goes. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you're Oliveira. Sometimes you're Dustin Poirier. And I'm still hurt about it.
He's gonna be less sad about my fight if I lose than he is about Dustin, though.
Probably not. Equal.
You were like literally about to cry.
I was sad. I like my sports, guys. I like my sports. And okay, so we'll keep all of you guys updated on that. So if you enjoy this podcast, please do me a favor. Like, comment. I can't speak. I'm getting
Please do me a favor.
Please like, comment, subscribe. And if you enjoyed this, share it with your friends. I'm Luke. That's Charmaine. That's Jake, the producer. Thank you all for joining us, and have a good Christmas and New Year's. You can keep me there. You can keep me there.